All
Good
right.
afternoon. My name is Ms. Oski, and I'm the Library Media Instructional Technology Specialist in the School District of West De Pere. It is a very special day because we have our February kindergarten book talks, and we have two classrooms joining us from around the district. So I'll introduce those first. We have Miss Lynn's class over at Hemlock Creek Elementary. Can everybody say hi? Hi. And we're going to head over to Westwood Elementary of Mrs. Austin's class. Hi, everybody. So we're going to start in Miss Lynn's class, and she has Tristan, who's going to be talking about a book with us. So come on up, Tristan. Can't wait to hear it.
All right, I'm going to hold it. Okay, so tell him what story did we read, Tristan? You probably have to talk a little bit.
And Tristan, talk really loud.
Owen.
Owen. Who is the author of Owen?
Say Kevin Henkes.
Kevin Lucas.
All right. What are you going to tell us about the book today?
What is the story about, Tristan? What happens?
Owen taking his book everywhere he goes.
His blanket.
Blanket.
His blanket. Did you ever have a blankie that you took everywhere?
No. No.
Kindergartners, raise your hand if you had a blankie that you took everywhere you went. Did anybody have a blankie?
You guys have a blanket?
Look at all the kindergartners. Raise your hand if you still have a blankie that you take places.
I know some of you do.
Oh, some of you do. Okay, what else are you going to tell us, Tristan?
What does his nosy neighbor do? What does Owen's nosy neighbor
Tell him
do?
that he can't take his blanket to school.
He won't let him take it to school?
And so what do his parents try to do?
Make him.
Does the blanket fairy come?
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't come. Does Owen always find his blanket?
Yes.
And so are they going to have to read it to find out if Owen can take it to school?
Yeah.
You're going to leave us hanging, aren't you, Tristan? You're not going to tell us the end?
Nope.
We're gonna all have to read Owen to find out what happens and to see if he can bring his blankie anymore. That's awesome. Anything else you want to tell us, Tristan?
Anything else? Did you like the story?
Yes.
Did you guys like Owen?
Yes.
We did like it. We have a lot of blankies in here.
Yeah, I bet kindergartners can relate with that one really, really well. Let's give Tristan a round of applause. Nice job, buddy. All right, Tristan can have a seat. We're going to head over to Mrs. Austin's room. I heard they've been kind of studying an author lately. Is that right, Mrs. Austin?
Yeah. Boys and girls, can you tell our friends who we learned about last week?
Robert Munch.
Robert Munch books, and we had a lot of favorites, but I had the class pick one favorite. And Brayden, can you tell them the title of our story? Really loud, Brayden.
Alligator baby.
We really loved Alligator Baby. And Grace, who was the main character in Alligator Baby? Kristen, one of the little girls in our story. And Braylon, what was Kristen's problem?
That mom and the dad keep getting the wrong baby.
Mom and the dad kept going to the zoo and bringing home the wrong baby. And Natalie, what was the first baby they brought home? An alligator. And Courtney, who did they bring home next? A seal pup. And Chase, who did they bring home after that? A baby gorilla. Now, we said we don't want to tell you how Kristen fixes it, but since Mom and Dad kept going to the zoo and bringing home the wrong babies, Kristen heads back to the zoo, and she fixes that problem, but you'll have to read to find out how.
Oh, interesting. I can't wait to read it and see what happens at the end. Kindergartners, did you like Robert Munch? Yeah, he's a really good author, isn't he? Can I share a book with you now? All right. Has anybody heard this story before, Noodle and Lou?
I never heard of it.
Do you know that I found out that February is National Wild Bird Feeding Month? Have you ever fed the birds? Raise your hand if you go out and you put bird feed or bird seed in the bird feeders outside.
Does anybody
Awesome. Has anybody ever made a bird feeder? I used to make them when I was little with pine cones, and then I put peanut butter on it, and then I would roll it around in the bird seed and hang it up in the trees. Has anyone ever made that before? Why do you think it's important to help feed the birds in the wintertime, especially in Wisconsin? I bet that's probably a good reason why they have National Bird Feeding Month. Mrs. Austin, can you call on someone?
What do you think, Ben? Why should we feed the birds? They don't get food.
They don't get food. It's really hard to find food in the winter months, isn't it? This book features a blue jay and a little bitty worm. And the worm really is kind of comparing himself to the blue jay during the story. I don't want to tell you what happens, but it's kind of a feel-good story by Liz Garton-Scanlon. And I'll make sure to bring this over to Mrs. Austin since I'm at Western, and maybe Miss Lynn can get it up at Hemlock too, because I think it's a story that you're really going to enjoy. What do you think, though? Do you think this silly story is about, do you think it's fiction or nonfiction? Think about that for a second. Raise your hand if you think it's fiction, a fiction story. Do you remember what that means? Raise your hand if you think it's nonfiction.
Nonfiction is real.
If you had your hand up for fiction, you were right. Usually, birds and worms are not really good friends. Miss Lynn's class, I'm going to go to you for a question. Maybe Miss Lynn can help and call on someone. Why would a bird and a worm not usually be good friends?
You can raise their hand. Why would a bird and a worm not be good friends? Levi?
Because a blood would eat it.
Yeah! Have you ever watched birds in the spring and in the summertime? They prance around the lawn, and they stick their little beaks in there, and they pull out the worms, especially around springtime when they have to feed their babies. So it is kind of a funny story that the bird and the worm are best friends, but it's a very nice story. The other thing I wanted to tell you is, although that one is fiction, we have some really good nonfiction books. I have one about a blue jay, so I could read some facts and compare, what real things are there about a blue jay versus what happened in Noodle and Lou. And then we have some worm books as well. This is a really great nonfiction book about worms, and you could kind of compare that to what happens in Noodle and Lou. So if you're interested in those are up in the library. We have lots of different bird books. So I will end by thanking you so much for sharing your books with us today, kindergartners. You were so awesome. And let's give everybody a great big round of applause. Nice job. All right, everybody, we're signing off for February. I'll see you all next month. Bye.
Bye.